Om Ajnanitimirandasya Jnananjan-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. Om Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapeshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharni Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarni Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम रामा हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome, devotees, to today's class. We'll continue with Bhagavad Gita, section part 2, the Bhakti Yoga, the second chapter. This is third, or rather, this is fourth chapter. We are past the middle milestone of Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters. We have passed 9 chapters already completed. Now, we know Krishna in the last verse, Manvana Bhagavato, concluded with the instruction to fix mind upon him and worship him and pay obeisances and always think of him. Now in this chapter, he is describes his opulences so that one can fix his attention on Krishna. Now we know we have a friend, we have a friend who is very dear friend to us, and we are moving about doing all kind of things with him. But one day we come to learn that he's son of a governor. So that bhav of friendship becomes a bhav of respect towards him. So in fact, similarly, when we know that now Arjuna, though he's very convinced about opulences of Lord Krishna and that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, yet for our benefit, for the benefit of common men, he is asking that Krishna, please describe your opulences so that a devotee can fix his mind and remember you at that time. So Krishna is, he is convinced that he is very opulent, very powerful and most beautiful in the world. So now, after this, Krishna, now when we know something, we develop faith. So that knowledge is very essential. So now, this is what Krishna is going to tell about his opulences. So for the benefit of common men, as I just mentioned, he is asking about his opulences. So this we have already covered in chapter 9. This is again a big chapter with 42 verses. Which one is the uh, first largest chapter of Bhagavad Gita with most number of verses? Any idea from level 1? Chanda Mataji? Chapter 18, 78 verses. And which one, the second largest chapter we have covered so far? Second chapter, that is 72 verses. Now this has got 42 verses only, but it's a very, very, very important chapter, in fact. So Krishna is the source of everything. Position as the origin of us, he's source of everything. So he is knowable. So one has to know about Krishna. This is given in 1 to 7 and 8 to 11. These are Chatur Shloka. Chatur Shloka are very important shlokas. They are entire, is complete Gita in the form of essence is given in these 4 verses. And we talked about, Sambandha, Abhidhi, and Prayojana. That is the description of the Sambandha with the Krishna, Abhiyojan, that relationship with Krishna, the process, how we can attain that relationship with Krishna, and Prayojan, that development of love, eternal love or blissful love for Krishna. That is Sambandha, Abhidhi, and Prayojan, that is given in Chatur Shloka. These are 4 shlokas, they're very, very important shlokas. Arjuna's acceptance and his request. So this is Arjuna now accept that yes, Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he was already convinced, in fact, and then he makes a request. So Bhavika Mataji, please continue. And
Yes, Lord.
synopsis of chapter 10.
Lord Krishna, at end of 9th chapter, advises to fix the mind on him. Bhagavad Gita 9.34, Man Mana, hence describes his opulences on which a devotee can fix his mind and how to remember him when we see opulent, powerful, and beautiful things in creation. Conclusion of 9th chapter is that one should become a pure devotee of the Lord by focusing mind on the Lord. 10, chapter 10, focus on description of Krishna's opulences by hearing will increase devotion. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. 10.7 to 1 to 7, Krishna's position as the origin of everything. 10.8 to 11, Chatur Shloka. 10.12 to 10.42, Arjuna's acceptance and his request to show opulences. Hare Krishna.
Now, in this chapter, you can see Krishna is continuously speaking now. And in the last verse, we saw that we heard a very, very important instruction from Krishna to Arjuna that you declare. Krishna could have himself declared that I am the personality of Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Krishna says he is glorifying his devotee so that whatever Krishna may break his promise, but a promise made by devotee, Krishna always honors. This is what happened with at the time of, when Krishna broke his promise in the battlefield and took up the wheel of the chariot. But if Krishna is asking a devotee to say something, he makes sure that devotee never fails in that thing number. And also, secondly, the devotee is not embraced by Krishna, not supporting him. So Krishna always supports his pure devotees. That is why he asked him. Now, so in the end of the 9th chapter, he said, Man manam bhavamat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Now describes, but how one cannot surrender without knowing, as I just now mentioned. What are the opulences of Krishna? What are 6 opulences of Krishna? Anyone can unmute?
All fame,
All fame,
richness,
all wealth,
and then knowledge,
all knowledge,
all beauty,
all beauty,
beauty,
all
yes,
renunciation,
all
renunciation,
renunciation, and last
uh,
one, all strength. Can you give an example? Can anybody give an example of that? Krishna is all. When we talk about Krishna's opulences, we always use word all, because there is nothing more than what Krishna has. Nobody can have that much, and there is nothing beyond what Krishna has possesses. So all strength. Any example of or that Krishna that proves that Krishna had all the strength? Just remember Krishna's pastime.
lifting Govardhan
Yes.
hills.
He was a child of 7 years. And what about killing demons? He was a child when he killed so many demons.
Yes,
He
Prabhuji.
killed Putana
Like,
also. He was only
Putna.
infant. Putana was killed only when he was an infant. What about all beauty? Krishna has all beauty.
As all sakhas and animals also were attracted to Krishna.
Yes,
So
but
this describes Krishna's beauty.
yeah. Anyone else would like to add something to it? Krishna had all beauty. We had a shloka on this also. Thousands of cupids. Cupid is the Kamdev is supposed to be most attractive, but Kamdev, thousands of cupids were attracted to Krishna. That is Krishna. Madan Mohan. Krishna is called Madan Mohan, and Madan Mohan Mohini, and even Radharani is able to attract Krishna. So you can see that piece. And what about the knowledge? He has all knowledge.
When Yashoda Ma saw the whole universe in Krishna's mouth.
Yes, Mataji. Anyone else would like to add that Krishna has all knowledge?
Yes, Krishna ji has spoken Bhagavad Gita in the war of Kurukshetra.
Yes, Mataji, that is eternal knowledge which he
Also the
gave.
sun god.
Yeah, so it is eternal knowledge and he has all knowledge. In fact, we read newspaper or maybe sometimes some fiction or storybook or non-fiction. We just forget it about it. We don't remember it. But and it is not lasting. After a few days, it is just waste, waste paper, something like that. But that eternal knowledge which Krishna gave is even today being read by after thousands to thousands of years. And not only that, but every time you read, you find something new meaning. So it is eternal knowledge. So what about wealth? When we say Krishna has all wealth, there is nothing more than what Krishna possesses, anybody could possess. In Dwarika, he had 16,000 palaces, and with each palace, one of his queen was residing. So he was most opulent, most wealthy person at that time. And renunciation, he was so dear to, Krishna was so dear to Vrindavan Vasi and Mathura Vasi, who were pure devotees, even his family members. Then he renounced it and went to Dwarika Dham. And he says that aham, that he's dear to, he is not partial to anyone. Am sarvesh bhuteshu na priya na dvesho na priya. That means he is equal to all. So he has renounced everything. He is not affected by three kinds of material nature. So that is all the opulences. Now Arjuna knew all these six opulences, but he wants to know more and more for the benefit of a common man, so that whenever in this material nature somebody looks at his creation or his manifestation, then one can remember Krishna in that form. So that is why Arjuna is asking.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
Regarding the beauty, can you just slightly elaborate on it? You said
Which one was-
Radharani, beauty, all beauty in
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji. Krishna is,
Radharani,
yes, Mata, I'll explain. Thank you. So Krishna means all attractive. The meaning of word Krishna is all attractive. He attracts everyone. Now, but when we compare that Krishna is all beauty, then because of his beauty, thousands and thousands of cupids or Kamadeva, they are attracted towards Krishna. Now, but this is one spectrum. So that is why Krishna is called as Madan Mohan. Madan Mohan, he is able to attract thousands of Kamadeva, because normally material people are attracted to Kamadeva only. But thousands of Kamadeva are attracted to Krishna. But Radharani is still more beautiful than Krishna, because she is able to attract Krishna towards herself, and that is why she is called Madan Mohan Mohini. Is that clear, Mataji? Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I couldn't unmute Prabhuji. No, it is about Radharani's beauty, you said. About Krishna's beauty, how it will be. Yeah, about all Kamadhenus getting attracted to Krishna, okay. And Radharani is more beautiful than Krishna.
Radharani is able to attract Krishna even. So that is why she called that. That is superlative place, in fact. Let us exclude Radharani at this stage. But Krishna has all beauty. His all beauty means that he is able to attract thousands of cupids are attracted towards Krishna. He is so powerful, that is, he is most beautiful. Normally, attraction we consider the virtue of the quality of Kamdeva. But here Krishna is so attractive that thousands of cupids are attracted towards Krishna. That is why he is called Madan Mohan. This is one part. Now, Radharani is more beautiful because she is able to attract Krishna. That is why she is called Madan Mohan Mohini.
Okay.
Prabhuji, may I add?
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So,
Prabhuji, may I add?
yeah, Mataji.
Prabhuji, moreover, Krishna ji used to play the flute. So the gopis were not able to hold themselves. They just came running towards Krishna.
Yes, yes. That is Madhuri Ras, in fact. So we can see that Krishna has got so many opulences, yet for the benefit of a common man, Arjuna is eager to know more. And this is the quality of a pure Vaishnava or a pure devotee. He wants to learn more and more about the opulences, about the pastimes, about the beautiful names of Lord Krishna. So Arjuna is now in this chapter, Arjuna has not asked any question. You can see that Krishna, after describing the glorifying the pure devotion in chapter number 9, describing different type of devotional services of a jnani or a karmi and ashtanga yogi, or even other spiritual seekers, or who are bent upon serving demigods only. He talks about the glorification. He talks about the glory of pure devotional service to Krishna only, direct worship, because they are doing abhidhi purvakam. They are alp medhas, or men of low intelligence. Now, after this, he is continuing with his opulences. And so Krishna is in fact in a state of, Arjuna has not put any question. Otherwise, we have seen in earlier chapters, Arjuna always puts a question, then Krishna speaks. Now he's in a state of ecstasy. He is so happy with his Arjuna, and so in a blissful mood, that an ecstatic mood, that he is now continuing with without any questions. And that, so Krishna's position as the origin of everything. Anyone knowing Krishna is the unbound Supreme Lord, and the source of all sages and semi-gods, is undeluded and free from sin. And these next set is all qualities and attitudes are created by Krishna. Even the progenitors of the universe are born from his mind. Those who know Krishna's glory engage in his. So Krishna is continuing. So Sri Bhagwan, this is the first verse. Bhavika Mata, you were reading?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Please read 3 verses and we'll take up chance.
Okay, Prabhuji. Shri Bhagwanuvaच भव्य एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमं वाच येत ते हम प्रिया मननया वक्ष्यास्मि हिता काम्यया. The Supreme Lord said, "My dear friend, mighty armed Arjuna, listen again to my supreme word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit and which will give you great joy." Hare Krishna.
So now here emphasis is a Shrinu me Paramam Vachan. He is telling now Paramam means earlier we had heard this word as Paramam Uttamam. Now he is telling about Paramam Vachan. That is supreme words. There is nothing more. Earlier he mentioned about Raj Vidya Raj Guhyam, Param Uttamam. Param Uttamam. So now he is telling about Paramam Vachan. This is supreme words, words of supreme knowledge, in fact, which he is going to tell. What he tells, "O mighty Arjuna, listen again to." Again, see, the emphasis is not hearing and listening again. Supreme word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit and which will give you great joy. Now, Krishna has now become a bhakta or a devotee. Earlier, he was a friend. In the second chapter, he surrendered ultimately to Krishna, and then thereafter he becomes a devotee. And for a pure devotee, Krishna is giving this knowledge so that he can be benefited, because Krishna is always benefactor of his pure devotees. He is very merciful to pure devotees. So that is why he is giving this, imparting this Paramam Vachan, or the supreme words of knowledge. And when one hears knowledge, then when he hears more, he develops interest, he develops more and more Shraddha. And when one develops more Shraddha, he becomes a pure devotee. So hearing is very, very important in the part of spiritual progresses. So as I gave you an example of a close friend, now earlier both were close friend. So Krishna and Arjuna were close friend. But when Arjuna comes to know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God and he has got so many opulences, that bhav of madhuri is now mixed with Aishwarya Bhav, the opulence is Bhav. So now we develop a more respect for a friend after coming to know later on that he's son of a chief minister or a governor. Then we develop more love and affection and also kind of glorification for us. So same thing is happening here, that Arjuna has now come to know that he has got so much opulences. Earlier he was in a friend of Madhuri Ras and then Aishwarya Ras. So he is amazed. Now there is a combination of love and glory towards love and respect and glory towards Krishna. So the sweetness of this relationship was given in chapter number 9, and chapter number 10 now describes about these glories. So emphasis again on hearing and listening. So text 1, yes, Mataji. This is a breakup how these 7, 9 and 10 are interconnected with each other.
Text 1. Lord Krishna asks us to listen carefully as he will reveal more wonderful knowledge about his opulences. Chapter 7. Lord explains his different energies and how they are acting. Chapter number 9. Lord established his different energies to establish devotion in firm conviction. Chapter number 10 gives more confidential knowledge of his specific opulences and his work. Hearing, eagerness to hear as the qualification, discourages in the society of devotees can take place only among those who are really anxious to be in Krishna conscious. Just like Arjuna's qualification, you are dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So this wonderful knowledge is continuing now. Chapter 7, Lord Krishna explained his energies and how he's holding the entire universe like a pulse in the necklace. The thread is holding, but it is not visible. How he was controlling everything. He was present everywhere, yet he was not there. In chapter 9, we saw that he mentioned that about his different energies, and which the basic purpose of which was by seeing those energies or knowing those energies, one should develop firm faith and conviction in starting devotional service to Krishna. In chapter 9, he gives more confidential knowledge of his specific opulences and his work. So why he's giving? Arjuna is convinced only. Arjuna is he is telling Arjuna through Arjuna to the common people. So they they also do believe that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he has already mentioned that all those demigods, they have been created by even the Brahma, Vishnu, Brahma and Mahesh, they are his creations. So emphasis in chapter this sloka 1 is on hearing, and hearing has to be one has to be qualified to hear Krishna's words. And Arjuna was a pure devotee. He was soft-hearted, we have heard earlier in slokas. Secondly, he was a surrendered soul, Krishna, or devotee of Krishna. So that is why he was eligible to hear this. Eligibility of hearing is also very important criteria. So discourses in a society of devotees can take place only among those who are really anxious to be in Krishna. So discourses means rather dialogue. So when there are two parties, one is speaker, the other is listener or receiver. Now, if the receiver is not interested in listening, the message from the source will go waste. But here, Arjuna is so eager to listen, and also for the benefit of common men, that he is listening all these things. Yes, anybody else would like to read now? Yes,
Can I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please continue.
Which
Yes, Mataji,
I'll
please.
enhance. Okay, this is 10:2, right?
10.2, yes, Mataji.
Name viduh suraganaha prabhavam namah shayah aham adir hi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. Neither the host of demigods nor the great sages know my origin, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and the sages. Hare Krishna, Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna is saying, Name viduh suragana, viduh suragana, prabham na maharshaya, aham adir hi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasha. Neither the host or demigods nor the great sages know my origin, because Krishna is originless. He is Ajam. He is another. That is, there is no beginning of Krishna. For in any respect, I am the source of demigods and the sages. We, why this is neither the host or demigods? Why any example from Shastras where which proves that demigods did not know that Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead? Any?
Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, Madam.
When Lord Brahma kidnaps all the friends of Krishna and thinks that Krishna is not the supreme Lord, so this gives us a proof where demigods were also not convinced that Krishna is the supreme personality.
Two examples from Shastra that I just now quote. First is Brahma Vimohan Leela. Brahma considered that, oh, this is a cowherd boy, young boy, he can't be God, he can't be Krishna, he is just, So what he did, he stole all the cowherds and, boys and, all the cows of Krishna. And Krishna created them instantly the next morning. And after 1 year, Brahma, when comes, then he finds that, oh, everything is already there. So he had kept everyone in his prison house captive as captives. But what he sees that everything is already created there. So then he seeks for. And the second example is about the Govardhan Leela. Indra was very proud of his powers. He didn't know that Krishna is still more powerful. He is the creator. So that these two things prove that even the demigods did not understand. And demigods, of course, have got material body. They cannot understand the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna fully. Not the great sages know my origin, because he is originless. He is Anadi. He is primeval Lord. He is the source of everything. He is Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha. So Anadir Govinda, Sarv Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. He is Anadir. He is Govinda. What does Govinda mean? Govinda means, why Krishna is called Govinda?
Who is the giver of pleasure to the cows
And
and
senses.
and
Right.
senses. Yes.
Thank you, Mata. Very nice. So he's another, he's Govinda, he's Karanam, Sarv Karanam. He's the cause of all causes. That means everything is emanated from him. So persons who have originated from Krishna, how they can understand Krishna? He's the source. It is so difficult. Yes. Yes, Swami Prabha Mataji, please continue. Number 3. 10.3.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yo majamanadim cha vetti lokamaheshwaram asanmudhasa matyeshu sarvapapai pramuchyate. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he and
Undiluted
Krishna
among men is freed from all sins. So, Yo Mam Ajam Anadim Cha Vetti Lok Maheshwara. That means one who knows that he is unborn. What is happening, Mataji, in this picture on right hand side? Unborn, beginningless. You can see in the picture, this is Mother Devki in the prison of Kransa, and all the demigods.
Yeah, all the demigods are blessing the baby and they're very happy.
Not blessing, Mataji. They are all praying. They are all praying to Lord Krishna. Because Krishna has preferred to appear in the material world. So they have come all praying to Lord Krishna and praying to Mother Devaki also, that you are chosen mother, you have taken. And Krishna was not born in formal way. Krishna first entered into the mind of Vasudeva, Then from mind, he went to the heart of the Vasudeva, from heart of Vasudeva to heart of Devaki Ma, and then he appeared Chaturbhuj form. He did not, appear through, or did not take birth, or did not take birth through prasav or labor. He appeared before Vasudeva and Devaki Ma in the Chaturbhuj form. Then both of them prayed, especially Devaki mother, because Devaki mother had prayed that please take birth with me as mother. So Krishna just appeared, then he assumed two armed forms and then ultimately a small baby form. So Krishna is Ajanma. He is Ajam. He has not taken birth anything. He appears in his transcendental bodies. The demigods, they have material body. Their body is subject to changes like our body. But Krishna's body is transcendental, doesn't undergo any kind of changes. And he is Sarva Maheshwara. Vyakti Lok Maheshwara, earlier also Krishna has said that Sarva Lok Maheshwara, he is the God of all the universe, all the planets, all that is, that be in future anytime. So such undiluted persons who know this fact, they are freed from all. So this knowledge Krishna is giving, that besides pure devotional service, even this knowledge is enough to make one free from sinful reactions. Yes, Mataji, this 10.4 and 5 also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Buddhir jnanasa mohaha kshama satyam dama bhavo bhavo bhayam cha bhayameva cha.
Yeah,
Ahimsa samata tushtis tapodanam yasho yashaha bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva prutadvidaha.
Yes, translation.
Yeah. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy, all these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanyavad.
Thank you. So these qualities, whether they are good, virtuous qualities, or bad qualities, they are all created by Krishna. And where do they reside? These qualities reside in the living entities of the material world. And what is their effect? Based on the three modes of material nature, these qualities are adopted by a particular person. Now, some of these qualities are the effects of following the four regulative principles also. So if one does not follow the four regulative principles, some of these qualities appears. So what are the four regulative principles? And what is the related, correlated effect of that? Can anybody just unmute and tell? First regulative principle? Which
No meat eating.
No meat eating. Now, right. Let us
illicit
just
relationship.
one by one. Yeah, Mataji. So that no meat eating. Now, what kind of quality is lost if one eats meat?
Compassion.
Compassion or mercy, or karuna we call it, right? Indeed. What about meat eating? Then what about illicit sex?
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness is lost. Thank you, Mataji. And what about gambling?
Truthfulness.
Truthfulness is lost. Because a gambler does not think of right or wrong thing. He wants to get money anyhow. So he becomes, he cheats also. So truthfulness is lost. And what about intoxication?
State of mind.
Mind control.
Mind control or austerity, we call it. Austerity is lost. A person who is drinking, alcohol or intoxicants, he cannot remain in a steady state of performing an austerity. That means austerity means, in fact, austerity and penance are very close to each other. So austerity means some kind of tapa that one does. So one who is used to consuming intoxicant, he cannot do tapa also. You know, a person who does not drink coffee or say strong tea and suddenly takes, he has got some kind of reaction in his body. So that feeling of austerity is lost. So these qualities are basically inherent in most of the living entities. And who has created? Lord has created. Why he has created? Based on the desires of the living entity. And what are the desires? What is the cause of desires? The three modes of material nature are the cause of desire. So these qualities have been created by me alone. So this quality is discussed in 10.45. Intelligence, what is buddhi? These 16 qualities will be described here. Intelligence means discrimination. What is right, what is wrong, what should be done, what should not be done. So buddhi application is power to analyze things in their proper perspective. This is called buddhi. And what is knowledge or jnana? The basic knowledge in spiritual sense is that we are not body, we are soul. This body is material, soul is eternal. And the distinction between soul and matter, that is the that is the basis of jnanam or knowledge. And what is delusion? Asamoha. It can freedom from doubt. One in deluded means become doubtful. In our day-to-day life, we are always doubtful whether this thing will happen or not. What should I do? We are always anxious. We are always doubtful about our own. We don't have confidence in most of the things, and that is a state of being delusion. But a person who is in Krishna consciousness or free or in a performing pure devotional service to Krishna, he is never deluded because he is sure that Krishna is the maintainer, protector, creator. Krishna will take care. So he is never deluded. He is never in a state of doubtful. This can be achieved only one acts without hesitation based on understanding transcendental philosophy that Krishna is transcendental and I am mortal, I am material, and nothing should be accepted blindly. So nothing should be accepted blindly. In fact, you can see in Krishna consciousness, everything is based on arguments. Everything is based on shastras. Everything is based on what sadhu have said. So it's based on, there are three bases, in our spiritual realm. And these three bases of sadhu, shastra, and sadhu, shastra. There is one more, sadhu, shastra, and so there are three bases of our spiritual goal which give us that understanding. Then tolerance of forgiveness or shama. Excuse the minor offenses of others, and one should be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others. That truthfulness of satyam, we have just now seen that truthfulness is lost in case of gambling. Then facts presented as they are for the benefit of others, not distort truth for some personal interest. Now, this truthfulness, satyam, the commentary of Bhagavad Gita by many other authors who are not in strict succession, who have interpreted the Lord Krishna's message in their own manner, in their own way, or through their own understanding. That is also not truthfulness. So we should not read, we should read only authentic translations and authentic commentary of Lord Krishna. And Prabhupada's commentary is commendable from that matter. Then control of senses, that is Dhamma. Senses should not be used for unnecessary personal enjoyment. That means employing all senses, like what Parikshit Maharaj, what Ambrish Maharaj did or what Bali Maharaj did. They used all their senses in service of Krishna, never for their own sense gratification. Then control of mind is Sama. These words are taken from the verse number 4 and 5. Restrain the mind from unnecessary thoughts like money. Power of thought should be developed in association with Guru Sadhu. Sorry, yeah, this is what I was talking about. That it is essential for progress in spiritual life, that we have to, one has to follow the spiritual master, sadhu, and shastra. Because the spiritual master is elevated soul. He has seen he is a Tattvadarshi, he has seen the truth from very close distance. And sadhu, a renunciate who has no material intentions, he has only spiritual path. And shastra, they give all the evidences. Evidence-based devotional service methods are given in shastra. So sadhu, shastra, and spiritual master, they must be followed if one wants to have the perfect knowledge and also control of mind and senses and enter into devotional service. And happiness and distress, sukham, dukham. In fact, a person who is equiposed in a state of equanimity, he is not affected by dualities of life. He is always considered relationship to what is favorable and unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. He derives pleasure, sukham, in only what he finds that Krishna. Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmati anavratam anukule Krishna bhaktir uttamam. The purest form of bhakti is, or the highest form of devotional service is, which is rendered anukule Krishna, which is favorable to Krishna, which is devoid of any kind of speculation, any kind of jnana or karma or karma yoga. And so that is the highest form of devotional service. So we have seen this now. Point number 9 is about satisfaction or tushti. Then bhart bhava.
I'm so sorry, I'm interrupting between.
Yes, Mataji.
Please just show again that particular slide. Thank you.
Yeah, Mataji. This is being recorded. You can see it afterwards also.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Here, Lord has mentioned about the first is intelligence. You can see, you can go through this verse again. In fact, this is very nice verse 10.4. Here it is mentioned, Buddhir Jnanam Sammoha, Chama Satyam Dama Shacha Shamaha, Sukham Dukham Bhavo, Abhavo, Bhayam Cha, Bhayamev Cha, Ahimsa Samta Tushtis Tapo Danam Yasho Ayashaha, Bhavanti Bhava Bhutara Mata Evam Prat. So these are 16 virtues, qualities which have been created by Krishna. Each one is described here as the meaning of each one is given in these 2 slides. So point number 9 is about the birth, bhava, abhava. That means material person, they take birth and they die. But Lord, for soul there is no birth or death. That means only material body dies. Then 10th is about the fearness, that is abhayam. A devotee of pure devotee of Krishna is always abhayam, in a state of, he is never fearful. Why we are fearful? Because we have doubts, we have anxiety. That is why we become fearful. So abhayam, a Krishna devotee, is always in a state of fearlessness. He is bold. Non-violence, ahimsa, we have already heard that people kill animals for the sake of their taste. And what kind of suffering, a pain the animal has at the time of death, and the person is eating the meat of that killed animal. So all the pain and the torture, all the kind of other chemical substances which are created at the time of death, because of that pain, intense pain, they are consumed by the meat eater, and that has an effect on the bearing, that is a bearing on the existence of that person. When one person is anxious, I'm telling you as a medical man, that there is secretion of a lot of hormones which are which are very, very harmful, which activate all kind of body organism and metabolism. So these epinephrine and adrenaline, these hormones are imbibed by the killed animal, and this killed animal is eaten by a person who is a meat eater. The result is all those kind of anxiety, tension, or fear and krodha, all they enter into the mind of that meat eater. So non-violence is not recommended. Not to do anything which would put others in misery, confusion, or distress. It is non-violence only. It does not mean animal killing. But if one is putting anyone in misery or some kind of discomfort, that is also violence. It's confusion or distress, not checking anyone's progress life. And the 12th is equanimity or samatha, where person is not affected by the dualities of life. 13th is satisfaction. Satisfaction with tushtis, That means whatever Krishna gives, one is satisfied and he is not hankering for anything more. Then austerity and penance, that is tapa, that is getting up early in the morning, doing the japam, attending the Mangala Aarti, keeping fast on Ekadasi and other holy days. And thereafter, other kind of services activity, which they form the part of tapa or austerity. And then charity, dhanam, give 50%. Dhanam, this example was said by Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. They were very, very rich persons. They were in the Hussain Sahib ministry, they were ministers, and they were very rich and they were very highly paid persons also. So when they came in contact with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they had boat full of gold coins and diamonds and all those things. So they gave Sanatana Goswami gave 50% of his entire wealth for Krishna consciousness purposes, 25% of his wealth to the needy relatives, and 25% wealth he kept for himself for emergency use only, not for sense gratification. So this kind of charity is desirable. Most of you have already donated for construction of temple, which is indeed a charity for a right cause. There are three things in charity we will come to know about: the right time, right place, and right person. Charity must be done at right time, right place, and right person. We'll come to know about in further chapters for Gita. And the fame, yasha. So these are, the man is famous when he is known as a great devotee. So fame, the real fame is not political or other kind of material fame. It is when one person is a pure devotee, then he's said to be famous. So we'll have to stop here to 10.5. Any questions or any suggestion, modifications, or any doubts or any corrections, Mataji, Prabhuji, you can please give me. I'm posted the attendance link again, so that all of you can please open this link and confirm that it is working. Is it okay? Is it working, Mataji, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's working.
Okay. So any doubts or any questions? I've taken long, sorry, because we had to cover for the yesterday's missed part, which is not in fact recorded. So any queries, any doubts about this thing? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji. So thank you very much for being here. Let us have a closing prayer now. Panchakalp tarubhyasya krapa sindhuva evcha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anant Koti Vaishnav ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna devotees and Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji. And thank you for your assistance. Dandavad pranam to all of you. Hare Krishna.